Hey. Good morning. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Ooh.
Like hot butter.
Hot butter. All right. Check 1 2 1 2.
Let me close my door. Lock it.
Where
no
did you
visitors?
Go? Say what?
Say get no visitors.
Be coming on in like you ain't doing nothing.
Right. Respect my hustle.
Shout out to the radio crew. Beth gives a thumbs up on the mix. Good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, chat chammers, ghost listeners, radio listeners. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday, October 4th, 2023.
Man.
Trying to wake up, got a little frog in my throat, but yeah, I'm here and you're here, and we appreciate you guys coming.
Ribbit.
Yeah. He's a ribbit. Already jumping into the chat. What's happening? Miss Erica Felt gives us a hey, good morning.
Hey.
Kimber Snipes says good morning, y'all. What's happening? Tamika Johnson gave us some sunshine. I hope we get some today.
Yeah.
Judy Prinzler gives us a good morning, family. Good to see your name. Appreciate you coming on in. Pops gives us a good morning, First Sky, and much love. Appreciate you, man.
Hey.
Anthony Hart gives us a good morning.
Okay. Morning.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys coming on in. We're just getting started here on this Wednesday, hump day. Yeah. Let us know how your midweek is going.
Yeah.
Well, how you feeling over there, buddy? How you doing this morning? What's going on?
Tired, boss. I'm tired. Tossing and turning all night. There was some activities going on, some shooting. A little too close to home for comfort, man. Sounded like it was like a block away. Not sure, but around 4:00 in the morning, waking me up, waking the kids up. I had to, go comfort everybody, make sure everybody was all right.
I hate to hear that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. But doesn't happen too often in this neighborhood. So we've been here for about a year or so, and that was the first time that we heard something.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, kind of just disrupted my sleep and things like that, disturbing the peace. But yeah, hopefully everybody's all right.
Yeah, not good. There was a police involved shooting in Omaha yesterday.
Oh man.
Yeah, there's some guy, something happened and the police ended up shooting a dude. He didn't die, but yeah, now they're investigating and all that good stuff. So just gunplay, it's just gun country, bro.
Yeah, man.
All over the states. It's messed up. That's all I can say. It's messed up. But anyway, hopefully everybody else was safe and everything went well over this past few days since we talked last. Yeah. Definitely we have a special guest coming on today. Some positive stuff happening in Omaha also with Afrocon coming up. Can't wait for that. Andrea Joy Pearson will be on the show today to talk about a little bit that and some other things. She got a whole bunch of stuff going on, so it'll be good to catch up with her.
Man, her energy is infectious, man. It's always nice to have her on.
Every room I'm in, everybody's like, "How about we have Andrea Joy Pearson speak?" She'll round up. Yeah, high spirited for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be cool. Cool to catch up with her again for sure. And yeah, man, Afrocon coming up. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm gonna look into it this week. It's coming up this weekend, as a matter of fact, I believe, is it? Yeah, October 7th, so Saturday. Saturday is going down. I had such a good time last year with my sister and little man. I'm gonna see if they can get down there this weekend. Come check it out. So we'll be talking about Afrocon for sure.
Man, get your cosplay on.
Yeah, and I got a message from Chris Baby Boy Bowling last night that I got. I forgot to hit him back, but he reminded me. You know, it reminded me that he's going to be the speaker again for the Content Creators Camp 2023 this week. Week 9 is happening over at Elevator Spaces, so it'll be good to get back with him. He's got some special stuff going on.
Yeah.
We need the big screen for, so we'll be back at Elevator, and it'll be cool. So yeah, man, weekend's already shaping up to do something.
Coming along.
Yeah,
I
got any
think
plans for the weekend?
um think I'm gonna take the babies, take the littles, pumpkin picking,
Ooh,
do the pumpkin patch deal, maybe get
okay.
some apple cider vinegar and you know, the stuff.
You know you from Omaha. You done move somewhere else and still gonna find a pumpkin patch.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, man. 'Tis the season, and even though it's like still like 80 out here.
Is it really?
Yeah, yes, it's still pretty decent,
Oh,
man. It's
bro, it
still
was
pretty
like
nice.
93 the other day over here though,
Really?
and now it's dipping. Yeah, it's supposed to like we supposed to hit 38 this week as a low. So I'm like, here we go.
Yeah, yeah, that's Omaha for you. That's Omaha.
Miss Erica Phil says I've been learning a lot at the content creator classes. Thanks for saying that.
Good,
Appreciate that
good,
recognition.
good. Big shout out to everybody who has been supporting, who's been going and learning. Yeah, that's the goal. And hopefully as we continue to do this, again, we talked about gearing up for reiteration next year.
Mhm.
Hopefully things are a lot better next time around. You learn a little bit more, get a little bit more engaged. But yeah, this Saturday actually is one of the classes that I specifically was kind of excited about being able to do and bring to the people. Solutions journalism, man. That's one of the definitely things that opened my mind. Big shout out to brother John
Mhm.
for bringing that, kind of introducing us to the Solutions Journalism Network. And he invited us about a year and a half or a couple years ago now. It's been some time when we went to that Solutions Journalism training.
Yeah.
But as a journalist, it really opened my mind. Really just kind of changed the game for me. A lot of the kind of informed a lot of what we do here at First Sky Omaha and how we look at things and how we try to talk about things, not just the doom and gloom. If it bleeds, it leads. But try to. There are solutions out there. There are people in other places dealing with similar situations and finding ways to overcome and to come out of that. And we can learn a lot from those stories and looking at those situations. And that's kind of at the heart of solutions journalism, man. So definitely come through this Saturday. It's gonna be a good one. Again, Chris Baby Boy Bowling leading the thing. Yeah, come through.
Be cool. She got a mood light on over there, buddy. What's going on?
Man, I'm trying to get my lighting right, man.
Oh,
It's
you messing with it? Is that what it is?
nah. What's going on? What are you seeing? It's
It gets real bright, then it dims down.
yeah. That's
I was like, he got a mood light on or something.
nah,
When you got
man.
excited about solutions journalism, got real bright in the room. So I was like, what's going on?
Like
Kimber Snipes in the chat says I went to Brenda Council's birthday party last night at the Elks Lodge. Okay, you was partying at the Elks. That's what's up.
okay,
Yeah, shout out to man. I did see that online yesterday. Brenda Council's born day. That's what's up.
man.
Appreciate everything she's ever done, man. She's powerhouse. We forget that we got these legends around here still.
Just
You know
chilling.
what I'm saying? Doing stuff. Marlon Harrison says, "Good morning, family. I surprised the way the thunderstorms were last night. I'm up right now. Yeah, I forgot that. That's another reason why I didn't sleep too well last night. We did get hit with a few building
Man.
shakers.
See, look, the lighting is back there. I don't know what's going on with this lighting, man. Look, I
Feeling,
didn't do anything, y'all.
you feeling sad, buddy? Was it,
I think it was a thunderstorm. I think that's what it
I just said thunderstorm. It got dark.
was.
Your light is AI. Mama God in the chat says, "Good morning, First Guy fam. Good morning to you."
Hey,
Kimber Snipe says, 70 years old. Send her some love. That's what's up, man. So love to Brenda Council for sure. She's somebody I clicked right up with when I got in town too. So
man.
it was good.
Yeah.
She was friends with my great grandfather, so it was like she was like family already. You know what I mean?
Okay. No surprise, it was at the Elks too. The Elks is kind of her spot, man. Be down there posted. Saw her down there when I was there for Omaha days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up? Ronnie Shield says, "Why does it say October 2nd? Because I forgot to put the right date on again, bro.
It's because we don't believe in the concept of time.
We don't believe in the concept. I don't know what date it is." Pop says, "Starting approximately 2:20 p.m. ET today, the federal government will begin
Yes,
conducting a
yes.
nationwide test. The drill will send an alert to all consumer cell phones. It will last about 30 minutes. I'm glad you said something to me about it.
Yeah, putting that phone on silent.
So 2:20 Eastern time today. What is that? Are you're not in Eastern time, are you?
Yeah, yeah. So that's 1:20 y'all time.
1:20 our time. Yeah. So I appreciate that, Pops. 30 minutes. The drill lasts. I hope those
Sheesh.
cell phones going on for 30 minutes. We'll see though. Mir Sanchez in the chat says I slept like a baby in the fetal position. Okay, cool.
Okay. Slept like baby.
Heard that. I need some of that baby sleep for real.
Man.
Pop says to avoid it, put your phone on airplane mode or turn off the phone entirely. Okay.
Okay.
I kind of want to see what it does. I might have to leave it
Yeah,
on
I'm
first.
I'm more so curious about like what it's for. Like, is this like for natural disasters? Is this for
Nationwide drill? That sounds like some nuclear stuff to me.
right? And I mean, I don't know, man. I done got like 6 or 7 Amber Alerts over the last couple of days. Yeah, it's been yeah. That's another thing. Over the last week, man, I done got like too many Amber Alerts hitting my phone. Some of them are like repeats, like this is still happening. But yeah, it's been a lot of Amber Alerts down here, been hitting my phone. But to the point, I mean, that system works.
Crazy, man. Uh, Miss Erica Fell says her party looked wonderful. Definitely a good time. Brenda Council's party, I guess, is a hit on social media. We have to check it out.
Okay.
Ronnie Shield says, "Yes, sir, Mr. Allen." Hey, good seeing you over there, man. Appreciate you coming on this morning.
Yeah.
Leia Keister said, "What's up Wednesday? What's going on? Yeah, what's up Wednesday? I heard that. What's going on, Leia Keister? Good morning to you. We're gonna have Andrea Joy Pearson on this morning. That's what's up today." Chrissy Norris says, "Good morning. Good morning to you as well. Good hearing, good seeing your name there." Mer Sanchez says, "End of the world." Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
If the end of the world is gonna come, I don't think they're gonna send out an alert for it first, but you never know. Miss Erica says, "Putting your phone on silent won't stop it. You have to turn it off. The sound is not for 30 minutes, but it's a nap. It's at nap time. They do it every 3 years." Okay, I
Okay.
remember that. I remember
Yeah,
that.
it's not ringing a bell, but okay. Okay.
Emergency broadcast alert. I do remember this is a test of the emergency broadcast system.
Yeah. On the TV, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
you got to do it on your phone is your TV now, so it is.
Yeah, I guess you got a point.
Pops also says emergency alerts are done periodically. They used to be often when I was a kid. Alerts will also come through your TV and radios.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Yeah.
So emergency broadcast system. Okay, that's what's up.
Hey, that's great.
As long as it's just a test.
Man, that part. I do want to give a shout out really quickly to Sister Kimra. I saw her at the Ben Nelson Gala. Big shout out to Precious McKesson. Dropped some video. They looked like they was getting down at the bus stop going in things. So yeah, big shout out to Sister Kimra, everybody that was at the Ben Nelson Gala.
Yeah, and shout out to everybody that's been posting pictures of themselves with Justin Pearson too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. Our friend Jaden, I saw some photos out there. You guys showed up. I think Brianna Full was there, so that's what's up. Showed them some love, and I saw somebody took him around town to the African American bookstore. I think that was Precious. Took him to the African American bookstore, so that's what's up too, man. That's what you do when you black leaders come into town, man. Take them over to the African American bookstore first, and let them know what's happening out here. Speaking of which. I saw an article today about another black bookstore opening up. We'll talk about that. What else we talk about today, man?
Yeah, man, definitely talk about that. Also, looking at a story that we didn't get into on Wednesday, but we'll kind of continue our conversation again, and expecting this to ramp up over a gunfire, or not a gunfire, but criminal justice. I just saw Mama God's post, but yeah, criminal justice reform. Big shout out to Diane Good Collins, who is again leading the reentry program at Metro, which we are doing some work with. But she was recently on a panel talking about maybe how inmates can solve a workforce shortage. So we'll definitely talk about that. Also, speaking of criminal justice reform, looks like Nebraska Attorney General Mike Hilgers is speaking up against criminal justice reforms, challenging the constitutionality of a new criminal justice reform statute that was passed last year, talking about LB 50. So yeah, we'll dive into that one. Also looking at Pillin, man, Pillin and what he's doing with his money, continuing to follow the coin, if you will, and doubling down on his support for school choice, which has been a hot topic here on this show, hitting them with $100,000 donation. Yeah, we're definitely going to continue our conversation on that. Let me know what you think on that situation. And also following the money, looks like there's still aid out there for pandemics. Again, round 2 of emergency rental assistance is now available in 91 Nebraska counties. So we'll see if that, if you live in one of the counties where that is available, if you need it, hopefully we can direct you towards it. But yeah, that's very, very interesting, especially with the moratorium on evictions right around the corner. Yeah, we'll definitely have to talk about the housing situation still hanging in limbo. So yeah, all that and more.
And more. It's going down. Let's start the show.
Let's start the show.
Thanks for everybody showing up early. I love it. I love it. I love it. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Once again, First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, his sentient light over there, his AI.
Man.
And all of you, Chad Shimer's Ghost listeners, radio listeners, thanks for joining us on this Wednesday, October 4th, 2023. Thanks for everybody that gets up early and gives us the good mornings. It always sets the tone, sets the mood of the day. So appreciate that. Always, whatever's on your hearts and minds, please let us know, and let us know how your midweek is going as well. Love to hear about it. Also, get your haps together because we will have some haps. There's a lot of stuff coming up this weekend. We'll start talking about it today and continue on on Friday with an extensive haps. And speaking of what's happening, we have Andrea Joy Pearson joining us a little later on in the show, and she'll talk about what's happening Saturday with Afrocon and many more things that she's into as well. So appreciate everybody showing up for that, and stick around for that. Of course, share the show if you're on Facebook or YouTube. We really appreciate that, and get as many people checking this out as you can, and many people in the conversation as we can. It'd be a great thing to have some more voices and some more, just more voices. Just hearing from people what they think about what's going on in the world today. So, again, happy that everybody is here and safe. Mama God in the chat said, woke up to a series of gunfire that was so close to the bedroom window I fell to the ground.
Man.
For a while, sleepy, but hope I can be present when Joy comes on. Love her. Yeah, she's always great. But man, I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I've been in that situation too, where the gunfire sound like it was right outside the window.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You'll never know what's gonna come through the house, and just it's unfortunate. So I'm glad everybody is safe over there for real, and I'm glad all of you woke up this morning with us. So we really appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Definitely lots of stuff to talk about today. I was kind of interested in how much the Nebraska Examiner has been doing. Really got to get Miss Cindy Gonzalez on the show and talk a lot about what their process is over there, because they're on it, and a lot of what's you guys are posting in Friends of First Sky Omaha is coming from them.
Mm-hmm.
Really jumping on it. So lots to jump into. We even dug into some older articles. Shout out to Tanaya Patterson, and put an older article in from earlier this year that brought out some points that we kind of overlooked, and we might have when we have the brothers over from the DED, we'll have some questions for them because of these articles. So really appreciate everybody that's doing that, even going back and checking out stuff and kind of just trying to decipher what's happening in our city. I mean, we need more of that. So appreciate that. Meantime, between time, buddy, what's on your mind?
Before we get into the conversation and the flow of the day, I do also want to give a shout out. This is something I didn't know. Paul, you say you didn't know until this morning, but apparently there is a follow-up or a sequel to A Time for Burning. If you remember the classic film featuring the great Brother Chambers. Before he was Senator Chambers, he was just your neighborhood barber Chambers at the time.
That's when his hair was black. His beard was
black. Still got the t-shirt on though. But again, A Time for Burning was a classic film, and apparently there's a sequel called A Time for Building, and we'll kind of be talking about it later on. But A. Jamal Benden and more, the organization Movement in Omaha for Racial Equality, will be hosting a viewing of the film and a discussion following the viewing later on this month. And this is kind of, again, a follow up to the recent meeting that they had talking about, again, criminal justice reform and just what's going on in the community, man. So big shout out to Moore. Big shout out to brother A. Jamal Benden. Here, let me go ahead and post a link for anyone who's interested in watching that film. It is available to view online. We'll be posting a link in the chat. I don't know if anyone have. I kind of feel like most of you, if you haven't, definitely go check it out. Time for Burning. But I'm just kind of curious. Is anybody familiar, or have you even heard of A Time for Building?
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw that this morning. I was thinking that it might be something that was being made now, and you searched it out and figured out that it was made back in '66, like right after this. It was the sequel to the Time for Burning. So
Yep.
that meant I'm anxious to see it. I want to see what they thought solutions might be. That's what I'm thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
A Time for Burning definitely highlighted the issues and things like that. Like I said, an early fiery Ernie Chambers telling it like it is. And this was a documentary that was done by I think a company from out of the country, from another country.
Yeah.
So they had a viewpoint on this thing where they weren't really holding back, and it was great. So it's interesting to understand. When somebody puts out something like this and then they come back with something like A Time for Building, you're like, okay, they're offering some solutionism type of stuff. So now I'm a little bit like, yeah, let me check it out, because what do they think the solutions were in 1966? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do they think was happening? I thought it might be something where it was made in today, in these days, and they had a little bit more retrospect on all the issues that they talked about in the first movie. But if this was made pretty soon after the first movie, be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Anybody seen that? Anybody know of that film? I'd love to see that. Miss Erica Felt says, I've seen a lot of clips from the original film, but never saw the entire film. And now that I have a name for it, I'm finna watch it. Then I'll watch A Time for Burning weekend viewing.
Okay.
A Time for Building. Yep. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm definitely want to check it out. That more. When did it say that viewing was going to be at?
So yeah. So they'll have the viewing. There will be an opportunity to watch the film October 25th, Wednesday, October 25th, from 6 to 8 at Augustine Lutheran Church. That's on 3647 Lafayette Avenue.
Cool. Yeah, be good to see and discuss.
Yeah.
Great thing. Hopefully Ernie Chambers will show up, maybe.
Maybe. Big shout out to Brother Chambers, who's still working. If you're not familiar, he still has the Ernie Chambers show. I think that's on Facebook. That's available on Facebook, broadcasting out of his own Ernie Chambers building. Shout out to Miss Gayla Chambers for again putting that together. But yeah, definitely a lot of work still being done. And we'll kind of continue to be talking about that event, throughout the show, maybe even later on in Haps get into it.
Marla Harrison says, I never knew there was a sequel for A Time for Burning. Learn something new every day. That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, man, trying to learn just something. So definitely, thanks for tuning in. But yeah, okay. Miss Erica Felt telling us Ernie Chambers is also on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep, got a show.
Yep. There you go. So let's keep it moving though. Let's go ahead and get into it. Speaking of solutions and A Time for Building. It looks like Diane Good Collins might have some solutions for building up the state's workforce. Again, this is a article we meant to get into on Monday, but definitely want to spend some time talking about this as prison reform. I'm guessing it's going to be a hot topic as we get into next year, especially with it being an election year. You, of course, are going to have some candidates running on the tough on crime whole, spiel. I mean, that's part of the script that we always talk about. But also, with Senator McKinney again pushing for more reform, I would definitely again expecting more. But how is that impacting the workforce? A big shout out again to Diane Good Collins, who last week was on a panel and it currently works as head of community college program reentry program again at Metropolitan Community College. And she shared her background with 200 people at the annual legislative summit again last Thursday to help, quote unquote, destigmatize the ideas of hiring former inmates, kind of going along with Senator McKinney has been saying about how people view inmates in the incarcerated population, just kind of, throw them away. lock them up, and throw away the key and forget about them. But what about when they get out? What services can they offer? Where can they go? What can they do? And again, Diane Good Collins is saying that putting them to work will be a great use for these individuals. She says, we're smart, we're committed, we're loyal, and we're part of the answer. She joined former state senator Heath Mello, who's now the head of the Greater Omaha Chamber of Commerce, and current Senator Daniel Conrad of Lincoln, who's an advocate for workforce solutions. All were on a panel discussing about the state's workforce problems and barriers to solving it. The Platt Institute, which is the same organization that recently handed out grants for those helping incarcerated or formerly incarcerated individuals, is backing the proposal in the legislature that would allow universal recognition of work experience in other states and in the military in obtaining professional licenses in Nebraska. The proposal LB 16 awaits debate during the 2024 session. So again, this is already a bill that we're expecting in the sessions dealing with criminal reform. Again, LB 16 also includes a second chance, quote unquote, provision for prison inmates. It will require state licensing boards to specify what kinds of criminal offenses are a quote unquote direct and substantial risk to public safety that will preclude them from obtaining a professional license. So, again, this is about the restoration of rights of formerly incarcerated individuals. Again, I'll take every opportunity I can to remind people that when you are convicted of a crime, you are viewed as a slave, according to the 13th Amendment in the Constitution, which means that certain rights are removed. And, even if you are learning skills and learning things and gaining certain perspectives and, again, skills while incarcerated, that's not helping you, and that's not being viewed as anything valid, although it is. And pointing case is the firefighters in California. Again, there are prison inmates in California who are forced to be on the front lines, be in the worst of worst situations in the forest fires and wildfires in California. And when they are released, they can't get a job as a firefighter. They aren't being paid as inmates. It's a crazy situation.
They get $1 a day to be on the front lines of those California fires. It's a trip. Yeah, lots to it, man. I just went. So we said before that we just teamed up with Metropolitan Community College a reentry program to shoot some documentary film. I went and shot my first session this week, and went and got to check out the office. And there's a particular program that they got right now called I can't remember the name of the program. They have a particular program right now for specific inmates that have participated in other programs, and they're eligible to be able to take advantage of these, and they can kind of come out of jail and work for a little while in certain instances and take classes and stuff like that. It's a really great program, and what hit me was the job situation. So Diane Collins has been working at building relationships in town to get people to be able to take in people, formerly incarcerated people in the job force. And the board was full of flyers for jobs from different companies that she's been working with over the years to get people in. And so, even the brothers that I was talking to that were still incarcerated were like, if you don't want to work, then you don't. The only reason why that you don't find a job is because you don't want to work. There's too many jobs out here. Like there's plenty of stuff for us to choose from. Plus, we're in this program where we're able to go to school and kind of even direct which kind of job we want. But there's jobs out there all over the place, and it's a direct result of Diane Good Collins building relationships and finding companies that will work with them, certain numbers of people that they want to bring on, and so on and so forth. It's just a constant flow. So it's really interesting how the reentry program works, and I'll have firsthand information on it since we're doing these documentaries on it, just kind of going through and seeing and understanding what's going on. So it's really interesting how that stuff works and how it's built over the years. I actually did a documentary for them in 2015 when they were in a smaller office. They had a smaller staff. Now they're in a bigger space with a bigger staff, and they're helping more people. It's great. It's great to see.
Yeah, the growth, doing some big things. And shout out to Diane Good Collins herself, who is also a formerly incarcerated individual. So, not only helping, but, really showing that, a lot can be done. Like your life isn't over once you get out, despite, how that's being how you treat it a lot of times. Big shout out to a brother of mine. I was speaking to him, and he just kind of put it in perspective, letting me know, just what he dealt with. Again, he served 30 years in prison, and after getting out, I mean, just imagine being away from society for 30 years and how fast technology is moving, how fast things are moving. Uh, 30 years ago was what, 1993? Yeah, 19. I'm 30. Yeah, 1993. There was no cell phones, no like,
Barely,
man.
barely internet.
Right. Barely any internet. Like, the whole world was just different. The whole world was different. So how can you not even find a job? Just how can you navigate? How can you purchase food? Like he told me he couldn't even use the card swiping machine. Like, he had no idea what was going on. So organizations like this, like, we really underestimate how much of a barrier it is to just jam out, as a Senator Wayne said, just get out of prison and try to reacclimate yourself into society, especially when nobody is there to help you. And then also, one thing that I'm thinking about on this issue is who are these individuals coming out, and what do they look like? What is the full picture? Again, we know that an overwhelming majority of inmates in Nebraska are black and brown, quote unquote, individuals, and we're talking about, again, economic development in North Omaha and South Omaha. Who are going to fill these jobs, and are they going to be able to fill these jobs when these people come out of prison? There are going to be now hundreds of millions of dollars invested into the community. There's going to be jobs. Will they be able to get them? And one thing I do find interesting from this article, it says about 200 occupations in the state, or including about 1 in every 4 jobs, require a government permit or license, according to the Platt Institute. The free market organization wants Nebraska to join 19 other states in adopting some kind of universal license recognition, arguing that skills aren't lost when someone crosses state lines. So, again, looking to also allow individuals to leave the state and find jobs elsewhere. But again, a lot of opportunity going to be coming, and yeah, you can definitely use some of the inmates and skilled individuals to help.
Yeah, every time I think about the situation, I think about that there's people that are coming out. We talk to the senators. We talk about people getting jammed out all the time. We talk about how when you get jammed out, you basically just, after you've done a sentence, you just get pushed out. There's no assistance to help you bridge the gap to a new life. You kind of go back out to your old life, if if that's all there is there for you. And the biggest thing is they're trying to make it so that you don't go back to jail.
Hmm.
They call it recidivism. It's a word that just means you keep on. It's just a system, where a cycle where you keep on going back, because once you get out, you really don't have any help or any resources or any skills. So the answer really, one of the big answers to all of this is this rehabilitation situation, this
Hmm.
reentry program. The several reentry programs out there. There's a lot. There's another article that we got today, actually, that's talking about an organization that has been helping to try to keep kids out of jail for a lot of years. That's part of it. Try not to, programs to not go into jail in the first place.
Hmm.
Prison reform. When you're in there, can it not be so detrimental to your life? You know what I'm saying? The parole situation is part of this as well.
Man.
The sentencing. There's laws. We've been talking to the senators about passing laws about sentencing. I just watched 13th documentary the other day again, and got reminded that there was mandatory sentencings that happened in the 90s. There were sentencings that happened where they called it like true sentencings or something like that. If they said you got 90 years or something like that, then you had to at least serve 85% of it.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So there was all kinds of things that you have to fight when you're in there. But once you finally get to the point where you can get out because of whatever reason, it's unfortunate. A lot of people are feeling like they don't got nothing to go to when they go out, when they get out. So, and a lot of these programs start within the jail. If they're getting close to being able to get some time to go out, that's a good time for them to chime up and decide that they want to learn some skills and be ready to be able to be productive when they come out,
Hmm.
and provide for the fam and stuff like that when they get out. So it's it's a piece of the puzzle. It's a thing that's very much needed, but it's very much needed, especially for people who are getting out is on the horizon. They got to have something to do. And yeah, man, I appreciate you reminding us about that, man. Free Ernest, got a little short in my cord here. Free Ernest Jackson.
Man.
I saw our correspondent out there in Lincoln who was talking about that it's his birthday month.
Oh
And
man.
so yeah, so she's been on Friends of First Sky Omaha with a video saying, remember him, speak up for him, help him out, show him some love, send him some letters on his birthday. So yeah, Ernest Jackson's still in jail, and we understand, and the wheels of justice is moving real slow. It's pretty much been proven that he's innocent, and so the fact that he's still in jail because that's how slow they move on stuff.
Mm.
It's messed up. And also, free Ed Poindexter, he's still in jail as well.
Man. Big facts.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes. Also, want to acknowledge brother Bo Youngblood in the chat. Man, giving us some firsthand, experience. And I went to a campfire while incarcerated in Cali, or a fire camp while incarcerated in Cali. And it wasn't $1 an hour. It was actually 25 cents an hour to start.
man, I didn't know you was out there on the front lines, Bo. Man. Man, I know I've heard some stories. I read some articles about some firefighters that lost their life out there, man.
Yeah, man. I was thinking about that. I think NPR did some reports on it. Yeah, and Amy Goodman.
Yeah.
Yeah, did a few.
Democracy Now.
Yep, did a few reports on that situation, man. Glad you made it out that situation. It's a crazy reality that's happening here in America, man. So, go ahead.
Also, I was gonna say, also to that point, the reason why we bring that up, I mean, it's messed up. That's slave labor in the first place, but
Yep.
also you learn you learn firefighting. When you get out of jail, you can't even go get a job as a firefighter.
Man, that part, which is a great job. Like, let's be honest, that's a great job as a firefighter. It comes with a lot of good benefits, great retirement plan. I mean, you see, Omaha pays about a third of its budget to its firefighters. So yeah, it's very interesting. And to that point, Daniel Conrad, who again is a senator out of Lincoln, has also advocated for pardoning minor marijuana offenses to remove a barrier to getting hired. Said it's universally recognized that a good job, quote unquote, is one of the best ways to prevent a repeat crime and return to prison. And actually, there's about 50,000 jobs. It actually could be about 80,000, according to some reports, available in the state. And there are about 700 job openings alone in Nebraska financial institutions, according to president of Nebraska Bankers Association, Richard Baer. So again, a lot of good jobs out there, but can the people who need them the most get them?
Man, that's the question. It's interesting. It's an interesting fight. You see organizations like the Reentry Program and other programs that are saying that. They're saying, they're fighting against recidivism.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, if you can boil it down to that, the 13th Ava DuVernay movie that I watched the other day, again for the probably the fourth or fifth time, reminded me about the fact that this, the prison industrial complex is a complex to make money. They're usually in cahoots with areas and states, and they have to keep people in it in order for them to continue to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So those programs are pretty much battling against a system that's trying to keep inmates coming back, and that's what they're specifically fighting so that inmates don't go back. They're fighting against recidivism, when recidivism is pretty much kind of, it seems like what the prison industrial complex wants. They have to have it in order to keep their complex up. So they're fighting against the ideology of going back. And the one tool that they have is jobs. Because if you can create a workforce and get people to go out there and pay jobs, that means they're paying taxes. Now they have some ammo because state always wants taxes.
Man,
States wants businesses to thrive and pay taxes, and the state wants individuals to thrive and pay taxes. And so you got a little bit of help from the state, you got a little bit of help from other entities to fight this recidivism, because you're making it economically viable for them to be able to do that, for them to be able to back you. So it's really interesting, this fight, this dichotomy that they're really, when you look at all these different programs out there, they're pretty much battling having people go back to jail. They're not battling how to keep them out of jail in the first place. They're on the back end of this thing, trying to keep them from going back.
mm-hmm.
And it's interesting that they have to have that mechanism, because it's too easy to go. They make it so that you go back. there's jails around the world that actually reform, actually try to teach you and rehabilitate you in there. That jail's supposed to be for rehabilitation.
Man.
So if you're in there really getting some real rehabilitation, then you're already gonna be okay after you've paid your debt to society, and you should be able to come out and get back to work if that's what you're trying to do. But that's not what you get when you're in prison. You don't get
It's the opposite.
rehabilitation, right?
It's the opposite. A lot of times people say that prison is like a criminal college. Like a lot of times people go in. I don't know if you ever seen the movie Blow. Like you go into jail, and then you come out with a whole new set of skills because you've been around a bunch of criminals,
Come on,
exchanging information.
come on.
And on top of that, even if you are there just trying to serve your time and actually rehabilitate yourself, and you actually do want to do better in life, you're still like a Khalif Browder getting abused. And you know what I'm saying? Like it compounds trauma. We just talked about the solitary confinement situation. Like
Mhm.
that's not going to help anybody. So yeah, at least we can do is get them a good job when they get out.
It's messed up. Brother Bo, I'm glad you're here with this, bro. And I'm glad. I appreciate you speaking up about your time in prison,
Man.
and you know about this. He says facts, brother Paul. They in bed together, and he's talking about he said this is facts. This is brother who is one of the first people who I consider a brother of mine,
Mm.
super close friend that went to jail. Like that shocked the mess out of me. That was the first time I ever dealt with it, was when Bo went, and I was like, what? And we were just that was tough. That was
Yeah.
nice. That's when I started learning everything that I had. That was my first part of the education of like what's going on with this prison system. I didn't have any other family members or friends that ever went to jail till Brother Bo. I learned a lot from his situation for real. So I really appreciate you being on here and talking about that, man, for real.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm
And that
have
was in
to.
the '90s, man. That was back in the day. That was back in the Clinton era. That was like three. We
Mm.
were scared about three strikes and stuff back then,
And he was in Cali.
and we was in Cali. So, whew, man, yeah, bro. Like I always go back to what Brother McKinney says. Like it's almost like the prison issue is not sexy enough for people to get it to be into
Mm-hmm.
to come to the legislature and fight and be, even people that got people in jail. It's this attitude about people. It's this attitude about criminality. It's like years of propaganda on TV. It's years of Law and Order. It's years of bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna
Mm-hmm.
do? It's
Mm-hmm.
years of watching. It's years of the narrative being throw them under the jail, throw away the key.
I mean, if you really want to get into it, you look at it. It's just it's the remix of the slave. it's the remix of the plantations. It's the new plantations. That's all it is. Literally,
Yeah.
it's all it is.
You chat chimers, ghost listeners, what's your experience with the prison system? What's your experience personally? What's your experience, family, friends? What's your attitude about it? Even like,
Mm-hmm.
don't let us sway what you think. If you think the system is correct, let us know. If you think that's what's up, let us know. Would love to hear more about it, and also what do you think about that? And if you're a business owner too, excuse me, if you're a business owner, would you hire people formerly incarcerated? What's the how do you feel about that? How do you feel about giving a second chance? The second chance situation out here. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
paternalism. There's a lot of punishment that comes with our prison systems in this
Yeah.
country. But what about second chances? People who want to punish you don't think you ought to deserve a second chance. So anything that has second chance attached to it is usually being fought. What's your idea about that? Love to hear from you on that. And before we move to the next subject, just want to put that out there. Love some feedback on your attitudes about this, your experience with it, and if you know anybody that benefited from a program like the reentry program,
Mm-hmm.
anybody benefited from it, let us know. We'd love to hear from you as well on all of these things.
Yeah. And then also, while those comments come in, I do want to pivot to another story out of the Nebraska Examiner. Big shout out to Cindy Gonzalez getting down. Um, but this is talking about the youth, not just again the reentry program, which helps adults and those who have spent a lot of time well, not just a lot, but spent time in prison and trying to reacclimate, but also the Juvenile Assessment Center which is turning 20 this year, apparently has been a staple in the community as far as steering youth out of courts and prisons and out of a world of trouble. And about 100 fans, including Douglas County administrators, judges, and attorneys and community service providers, celebrated the program that so far has served an estimated 28,000 at-risk youth in Nebraska's biggest county, Douglas County, officially called the Juvenile Assessment Center. Jack reportedly saves taxpayers at least $1.4 million a year by redirecting minors who have encountered law enforcement onto a path away from the court system and prison. The current director, Sean Johnson, said the need for diversion programs are critical, pointing to Nebraska's ongoing criminal justice reform challenges and in the state's $366 million expense to build another state prison, which we talked about. Again, that whole situation is still brewing in Lincoln. So continue to keep our eyes on that. But Director Johnson says we really have got to stop the trajectory of youth going into the adult prison system. Based at a campus near 41st and Pacific Streets, Jack was born out of an effort by county administrators to identify program areas in need of big efficiencies. The county's corrections and juvenile justice system became a target. And of course, we're continuing to talk about that whole situation. The preschool to prison pipeline is a reality. And a big shout out to this program. I have personal experience with this program. Again, I've shared that, in my past, I got in trouble, was facing 1 in 20. And luckily, my mom and I had a support system that wasn't just going to let me go away and, wasn't looking at me as a criminal to be thrown away in prison and forgotten about. And I was able to get into the diversion program. They were talking about charging me as an adult. I think I was 16 or 17 at the time. But yeah, I was looking at adult time. I was looking at being treated as an adult, viewed as an adult in the prison system. But programs like the programs provided by the Juvenile Assessment Center got me here. So there you go.
This is yet another organization I didn't know anything about, and it sounds like they've been doing a lot of good work for a long time.
Yep.
So we're always a little bit skeptical about programs in general, and what exactly the kind of work and what exactly the kind of stuff they've been doing. But this is a introduction to me, is a little introduction to this particular program. And, now it's on my radar. I want to keep my eye on it, see what actually is happening there.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we have to have a little skepticism when it comes to any program. Are they really stopping something?
Oh, yeah.
Because there's the other thing. They may have been behind the scenes doing this work and making it so that, and things would be so much worse if they weren't here. That's also part of it as well. So we definitely need to keep our eye on these organizations and see if they're doing some good work. Then more power to them, for real.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. According to Johnson, again, the director, about 23% of the youth served at the assessment center become repeat offenders. So they save about 70% of the people that come through the center, which, it's a decent number. I'll take it.
Jump in the chat real quick. Kimmer Snipes says, y'all talked A. Jamal up. We just got off the phone and I missed everything y'all was just talking about. Oh, we have to go back.
No, man. man, we got any prison reform.
Also, Malik Rogers says, second chance more likely to fit this who had first priority in life. Look at my comments above about the re-entry director. I saw your comments up there. I would prefer for us to, if you would like to invite her on and ask her about some of these things. I didn't really like the tone of that. So yeah, I appreciate you bringing up the situation, but we're kind of on this topic about what it is that the director is doing for the situation right now. And if you have some questions about her position and things that's going on there, we'll do it how we do it. We can bring her on. We can talk face to face about it and see what's happening. But I don't really know too much about that particular part of the story. And that's not a part of the story that I think that she has put out there. So we'll definitely be able to, we have access to be able to bring her on and we can talk about it. And then you can ask face to face on some of those things. But I don't want to just start bad mouthing folks or digging into previous stories and stuff like that on people that, that hasn't. But we'll talk to her about it. We'll see what's going on that end. And I don't know if it would even be relevant to
that's
the work that's going on today in the first place. So
that's kind of my thoughts.
We'll move on from that. But that woman Miss Erica Fell got some interesting things to say. Most people's crimes have nothing to do with being an employee. The state has restrictions on who I can hire. They claim more morality reasons. I would hire anyone except someone who had a violent crime.
Okay.
As the state, however, won't let me hire thieves, prostitutes, drug dealers until a number of years have passed since their last system contact. Okay, so that's for you who owns a child
Childcare.
care facility, and the state will not allow you to hire certain people for that. Um, on the surface, I can be like, okay, I can understand that. You personally are saying though you would hire the only people that you wouldn't hire is somebody that had a violent past. Um, I'm not mad at the state for trying to look out and have some standards there. Maybe you're saying that those standards are a little too strict. I think also your point, which I totally agree with, is that morality thing. That thing is very paternal. It's very punishment based.
Man.
They pick and choose who it is that they want to call a criminal or what they think criminality is, and that's always tough in a big way. Brooke Allen gives us good morning. Also, Bo says to Miss Herkenfeld, I had mine as well. They thought only drug dealers had one then. Interesting.
Talking about pagers and cell phones back in the 90s.
Yeah, he's talking about Sky. We had Sky pagers back in the day, and not in dumb phones. We didn't have no smartphones back in the day.
We had the dumb phones.
In
Yeah.
93.
I remember back in the day, Pops had the brick cell with the backpack. I used to play with it.
That's a little further back from 93.
Yeah, I remember I used to play with it.
Yeah. Everybody, we came across those later on when they became obsolete. Everybody had one from
Yeah.
It was funny. T. Wren in the house. Good morning. Says those in charge of the system are pro jail, the same ones that are pro private, the same ones that are pro gun. You have to fight them tooth and nail. Instead of our reps are voting with them 2 out of 3. Okay.
Man,
say what would you think? Your light got brighter. What
yeah.
Your AI light.
Yeah. Oh, she just kind of, that comment just really hit it on the head. As far as pro jail, pro private, pro gun, because literally, again, Nebraska Attorney General Mike Hilgers is challenging a legislative criminal justice reform bill, LB 50. So again, it just kind of very interesting that you're saying those in charge of the system are pro jail, and here we have the state's attorney general challenging a bill that will reform the criminal justice system.
Yeah, which is a bill that Senator Justin Wayne adopted and took on.
Yep. At the same time, in another story, which we'll be getting into, again, the same ones that are pro-private in the comment, we got Governor Pillen throwing $100,000 down for the school choice. It's very interesting. I actually came across a clip on social media, and this is the one I sent you, Paul. It was on MSNBC. I forget who it was speaking, but it was a lady, and she basically was questioning whether politics are over and looking at kind of the Republican Party and how they're moving. Yeah. And there's that comment just kind of reminded me of that, how on the Trump, a lot of the Republican presidents that have won, they also lost the popular vote. Like a lot of the politics and policies that are being pushed by the Republican Party are largely unpopular. Gun rights, what's going on with the jails, their stance on what's happening with women's bodily autonomy, but yet they're doing everything that they can to push those things through. And it's a lot of these actions.
That was a great piece. Because it really impressed me, because that's what she was saying. Like when you think about the popular vote, it always goes a way that they don't want it to go. So they got to use stuff like voter suppression. They got to use stuff like gerrymandering and all these things in order to get through what they want to get through. Because if they just put it up to a popular vote, it wouldn't pass.
Cronyism.
It's a trip. It's really a trip. Yeah, that was a great piece.
Yeah. So with that said, again, we have here right now in Nebraska, this being reported by the Omaha World Herald, Nebraska Attorney General Mike Hilgers is challenging the constitutionality of part of a new criminal justice reform statute that was passed in the legislature this year. A spokesperson for the Attorney General's office confirmed the office filed a lawsuit Monday against LB 50. The challenge pertains to a section, just a part of the bill that addresses parole eligibility requirements, which would allow some inmates to become eligible for parole earlier. So sounds like they're trying to keep more people in prison for longer, to me, and challenging the very part of the bill that will allow people, again, to get out earlier. LB 50 covers a wide range of issues related to criminal justice reform, such as increasing Nebraska's problem-solving courts and expanding parole options. Again, lawmakers debated over these issues for 2 years before enough senators did support the bill, which ultimately passed in a 34-15 vote. According to the lawsuit, changing the parole eligibility of existing inmates violates the separation of powers in the Nebraska Constitution because the law could allow some inmates to be granted parole earlier than their initial sentence. The lawsuit argues that gives commutation power to the Board of Parole, a power solely held by the state's Board of Pardons. Again, the lawsuit also submitted documents showing that the Nebraska Department of Correctional Services Director Rob Jeffries initially reached out to the Attorney General's office in late August about interpreting LB 50's constitutionality. And upon hearing that the office found this portion of the law unconstitutional, Jeffries said that the department would not impose the new requirements retroactively on inmates sentenced before LB 50 took effect. So, again, a measure that by all means was designed to help alleviate the nation's most overcrowded prison system and address the national overcrowding emergency that the federal government has placed on Nebraska for now 3 years. The measure that could do that is now being challenged by the state's top brass. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
Can't wait to get Brother Wayne in on Monday and hear about this one. Yeah, that was very surprising. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that there has to be such a fight just to do anything when it comes to prison reform. It's messed up.
Well, I mean, of course, if they apply this retroactively, then that means more inmates are going to get out, and then they'll have less people to fill the new prison that they're trying to build in Lincoln. I mean, it's very simple math.
Yeah. I mean, again, we gotta keep on going back to like all the entities that are out there. You know, we already know that this is the case, and now we're really trying to figure out what to do, coming up with some solutions for that. And you know, season 6 boost to the roost. What do you do? What kind of action can you take? I really feel like talking about stuff like the reentry program. These are the programs that are out there that are trying to battle this and help this, and even like talking about the senators with LB 50. That was a bill that was started by a different senator at one point that I believe now is working for the office.
Senator Susan Geist.
Right. And now where's she at?
Attorney General's office.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh man.
Right. So basically, Senator Wayne picked up and adopted that bill and pushed it through. And I remember that being a topic of conversation when they came on the show. Like that was one of the wins.
Yeah.
During the legislative session.
Yeah, it happened after Geist resigned to run for the Lincoln mayor position,
which she lost, right?
Right.
Yeah. Geist, that's quite a character there. So it's interesting to me that he picked up the mantle there, pushed that. They got a win, and even after you get a win, you got to battle.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real uphill situation in legislature on a lot of different levels, man. I think all the senators feel that most of the time. Jumping in the chat real quick, Malik Rogers says, with the reentry systems, there are still levels of racism and classism. Need to find the report, but over 90% of reentry program operated by non-minority leadership. Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I mean, you know, there's going to be racism and classism in every system for sure.
Yeah, it's a system.
Yeah, this particular one here with Diane Collins, who is a woman of color, she's a Native American woman that also was in prison before, and so kind of understands that. Everybody that I interview and talk to is people of color. So far, there's only been maybe 1 or 2 people that I've talked to that weren't. So now that we're there, we're able to get some stats and about, you know, what parts of the program are working and not working and so on. But this very elite program that I just filmed, I spoke to two African American brothers that were in the program and were able to come out of the prisons to be able to work off, and go to school off campus, and they don't do anything but laud this program in a big way, and it just makes me kind of look around and see, okay, what other programs are out here doing stuff? How much worse would things be if these programs didn't exist? Is kind of
Yeah.
what I think sometimes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Rather
I'm
than
sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, rather than saying that they aren't doing anything and looking at, what problems still do exist, like, kind of question,
Yeah,
what problems are they solving? Like,
that too, and not that I don't want to look at what problems exist. Of course, I want to
mhm.
scrutinize that as well. But I also want to, I also want to acknowledge about what work is being done.
Right, right, right,
Oh,
right.
and I think your AI light agrees with me right now. It just got bright. Malik, also,
It's a
also,
bright idea.
T Ren, bright idea. T Ren says the severity of change that needs to happen will not with the current crop of legislatures or voters in the state. Yeah,
Hmm.
they're moving. The needle's moving slightly and slowly for sure.
Yeah.
We're getting the firsthand information from the senators about why that is. Sean McCarthy in the chat, good morning, says election season typically brings out the worst instincts for these solutions.
Man.
So many people would rather run on a tough on crime campaign than a smart on crime platform. Yeah, that's craziness. Marlon Harris in the chat says, I think they should offer therapy or counseling with former inmates and their families. I think that might help with reentry into the real world.
Definitely.
These programs that I'm filming right now also include counseling. So and also housing help and also family help. So
Right.
they're kind of they're doing a all inclusive kind of help. They're really trying to attack it to where it helps all the way around, not just in one, not just in jobs. But these brothers got counselors to talk to. They get rides back and forth to work. They get family support. They get all kinds of stuff with a lot of these programs. This one I'm filming in particular. That I'll definitely talk more about it. Like I said, I just went and did some preliminary filming on it, and
Hmm.
I talked to a couple of brothers in it. But I'll have more information on that very soon as well. Also, chat's going off pretty good.
Yeah.
Miss My Hoopty. Yeah, y'all are stuck in that little bit of gold in a pager era.
Hey.
What's up? Gwen Easter says good morning. Good morning to you. Von Chapman in the
Peace,
chat says
peace.
good morning. Criminally is not innate in a people of color in the community is often low key suggested by those who continue to financially benefit. Poverty is still the reason for crime.
Yep.
Very true. Very true. Also, Rome's review says, I'm not a fan of brick and mortar prisons. I'm a fan of tent prisons. Decriminalize cannabis. Okay.
Hmm.
T. Ren says, quid pro quo never works for the most vulnerable. If I vote their interest, they will vote ours. It's a long failed plan, only singular personal gains that come from it. That's an interesting statement, too. That's good to remember. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Von Chapman says, solution, deal more effectively with poverty in the targeted community. We have to. We got to follow the money on it. It's not up for debate anymore. It's definitely known that it has to do with the economic situation. The economic situation is the biggest reason for a lot of the issues in the first place. A
Hmm.
lot of the inmates say this all the time, man. Incarcerated and formerly incarcerated people say it all the time. Like, if I had an option, I would have done something else.
Man.
So the fact that somebody is actually concerned about giving me an option, I'm gonna jump all over that for sure. One brother was like, I'm a man. I'm trying to get out of here and take care of my family. They've been taking care of me all this whole time. I gotta. He's like, when I get out, I'm definitely going to be taking over that area. That's my forever mission after that. So, yeah, I feel you. Ms. Erica Phelps says, what I witnessed was not in Nebraska, so I can't speak on that.
Okay.
I don't know. We have examples from all kinds of different places and different states, and I
Yeah,
think
man.
Nebraska copies a lot from some states and shuns stuff that other states do. It's relevant. It's definitely relevant.
Just, your experience. Your experience is relevant, regardless of
Yeah.
where it came from.
And your experience with us right now on First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. I hope
In
it's
the morning.
one. I just stepped all over your
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
first,
Come
man.
on. My
Sorry
toe.
about that, bro.
My
I'm
toe.
trying to get
My
Luther
toe.
Vandross on with it too.
Come on, man. My
In the
big toe.
morning. We'll take a quick break, man. Come right back. I believe Andrea Joy Pearson is going to come through here in a bit. So we'll look forward. We're still looking forward to talking to her, about Afrocon, all these things that are coming up. But we'll take a quick break and come back. It's 8:05 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, thank you very much. If you guys are seeing just bits and pieces of this, you can always go back and watch it in its entirety on Facebook and YouTube. And when you get over to YouTube, please give us a like and subscribe and all those good things. Hit the bell, all that stuff they say. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. First Sky Omaha Radio. It's going down. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, what's happening?
Hey, squad.
Zane says hi, what's up, dude?
The dude.
What's going on, my brother?
Hey.
Hope you're feeling pretty good today. It's supposed to be pretty nice out. Get some outside time going.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for everybody that's joined in on these discussions. We had a very powerful first hour.
Man.
A lot of good topics, a lot of evergreen topics for us, and a lot of good comments with us as well. Appreciate that everybody is joining into the chat. And brother Malik, I also want to make sure that I let you know. But really appreciate your comments as well. It's not that I'm trying to shut anything down. I definitely want to look into the things that you guys think we ought to be looking into as well. But I also work with Diane Good Collins. Want to give her flowers. Like I said, we'll bring her on and we'll definitely talk to her about what's going on and some of the issues there. She's very open about what works and what doesn't work in the programs. And she's also very open about her past and things that's going on with her and the reason why she's able to do what she does. So we'll definitely bring her on and some other people on too. We got other guests that we're talking about bringing on to ask some hard questions with as well, including the people from the DED. We're still working on getting them on the show. We're still in the midst of what's going on with the 531 bill and everything that's happening there. As if you've been following the shows and checking out what the senators had to say when we brought them on, we realized there's a lot going on here, man, that needs a little bit of more solidarity in the Black community in order to make sure that we can capitalize on the fact that there's money that's supposed to be coming to North Omaha. And what we can do with that, and hopefully it'll be like we talked about it already. There's going to be some wins, but hopefully it can be enough wins that we can kind of move the needle in North Omaha with economic recovery and development in the first place. Like Von Chapman is saying, if we can solve some of those problems, if we can solve people getting some work and being able to have affordable housing and all the things that being economically viable can bring you, then we can cut down on a lot of stuff that goes on, including crime, including recidivism, including all these things we're talking about. So got to do it. Bear Sanchez says, if service members can defend our country and sleep in foxholes or tent cities, then prisoners can live in tents. Definitely not for the inhumane treatment. So you talking about actual living, being in tents?
He's serious. I'm serious about that.
Serious about that. Okay. All right. I think there needs to be some kind of prison reform before they, maybe not before they change the way they're housed, but I don't know. Maybe I feel like I've seen stuff in other countries where there was the prison was more about being reformed and rehabilitation, and they're treated like human beings because they're given education and trying to treat them like humans. So I have a feeling that if they did something like that where they were where they made shelter even harder for them, then it's just another layer of abuse that might happen here if that's the case. I'm not sure. I'm just trying to consider your idea, but it's an interesting idea for sure. And I hope like I said, I think the housing of prisoners needs to come with some reform on how prisoners are being treated and so on and so forth too. So um,
Mm.
Kimber Snipe says that Diana is hella good people. She knows her stuff and keeps it 100. I
Yep.
agree. Kimber says prisons were originally meant to hold people who were headed for capital punishment, not for punishment.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
this punishment idea, people getting punished. You
Yeah.
know, you think people try to use the argument, well, we're going to take these dangerous people off the street so we can protect the people. But that's not. It doesn't seem like that's what prison is for. Prison is more for making people feel better that you punish somebody for doing something that you didn't like. The
Pretty much.
punishment paternalism situation is huge, but we'll continue this conversation another time. Like I said, there's plenty to chew on this morning from all the conversation. If you miss any parts of the show, go back and check it out on YouTube and Facebook. Check out the chat is where a lot of the conversation is being held, and a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff in the chat today. So I appreciate everybody's comments.
Yeah. Actually, before we do move on, I do want to acknowledge one last chat. It's
Sure.
a book recommendation from Kimera.
Okay.
Sister Kimera Snipe says, "Read Are Prisons Obsolete" by Angela Davis.
Yeah.
Only 6 chapters. A short but dense, powerful read. Big shout out to the sister Angela Davis, who actually will be in Omaha later on this month. Coming up very, very soon. Very soon. So
Absolutely weird. Shout out to IB Black Girl that
yeah,
is putting her on October 27th. Put that on your calendar. Definitely check it out. When she was out here last time, I actually bought that prison book and
man.
had her sign it. So it's one of my prized collection books. It's a good short read. I also endorsed that book. Are prisons obsolete? It's a good question.
I'll say
So
yes.
it's deeper than that. Check out the book next time you're in. You
Yeah,
definitely
man.
check out the book.
Yeah.
But shout out to IB Black Girl for bringing Angela Davis out. Of course, a legend in our own time, in our time, and I can't wait to hear from her again. She's one of my favorite speakers on earth. So that's what's up. We will have wait a minute. Kimber said I cried when I met Angela Davis. Yeah, I heard that. It's the only time I've been starstruck. That was
Okay.
one of 2 times that I was starstruck too. Kimber, that's interesting.
I
I
mean,
definitely was starstruck when I met her. And
dynamic
we met
sister.
her at the same place at the Holland that time, right? I bet you.
No, I think Kimmer said she met her somewhere out in like DC or something. She
Oh,
she had
okay.
mentioned this before. She had mentioned
Oh,
this
okay.
before.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
it. Without further ado, though, we have a special guest waiting in the wings. We go ahead and bring her in, ladies and gentlemen. You've been waiting for her the whole show,
Man,
and I know that you guys have been anticipating her arrival. Miss Andrea Joy Pearson is in the house. Good morning. Good
Hello,
morning.
hello, 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 hello. Look, I
hello.
told y'all, I'm just waiting on y'all to make me your unofficial third that just drops in every now and again. I'll just wait till you ask. Listen, I'll try to be open and ready. And before I go any further, let me shout out I Be Black Girl. Much
Hey,
appreciation on bringing Angela Davis in. I'm a big believer in the power of thought, the power of the mind, and having really amazing thought leaders come in to input knowledge into us, to input care and love into us, has the power to honestly change anything and everything all at once. And then also I was a keynote for IB Black Girl, just at their Black Girl Lead earlier this year. So,
hey.
they stay bringing out the fly leaders in Black women here in town. I'm here for it.
That's what's up.
Yes, yes. October 27th, y'all. Definitely tap in. Definitely tap in.
That's right. Definitely come
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. So how you doing? I don't think we've spoken to you since the Amsterdam trip.
Oh,
Oh
Cloud, yeah,
yeah.
you cloud
Yeah.
hopping and things. Saw videos of
Okay,
you
you better
singing.
keep up with me. I'm doing well back in town. I'll tell you, Omaha really does have a special place in my heart that when I'm away, I'm often like feeling like I'm missing something here that's going on, or wanting
Hmm.
to support someone, or seeing something out that I'm like, ooh, that would be really good in town, or I haven't really seen anything like this happening there. And like, how can I, again, like, impart some of the knowledge of whatever it is I'm experiencing beyond me. So I've been really good. Yeah, I've been out here jet setting a little bit. God's been good, feeling very blessed. And in that, I'll tell you, so one of the things about the trip to the Netherlands is they are a hub for urban planning, development, and design. Urban planning, I say this as someone who's worked adjacent and with urban planners, but is not an urban planner, right? But my kind of idea of what urban planning and development is really the authority and the understanding of how you turn a space into a place and how you make it something that works for the community that is there. So there's a level of inclusivity, a level of belonging, and a level of productivity for what it is that you're going after. And I think everyone is an urban planner and designer in the regards to you can have a hand in what your community looks like, how your community shows up, what happens in the future of your community, and what your community needs right now. And so I really do impart that to everyone under the sound of my voice, that you are an urban planning designer, and you do have a hand and have a voice and have agency in what Omaha looks like right now, because you're here, you're living inside of it, and you matter. Right. And so on that trip, they're a big hub in the Netherlands for urban planning and design. So seeing how they built not just like roads and buildings, but how they built blocks, how they built community, how they made spaces where there were a lot of leisure spaces for like parks and things like this. Right. There were a lot of different ways for you to be able to get from one place to the other. They roll off of a 4-part transportation system, which was really, really cool. And we don't have it. I haven't seen anything like it here in America. And it's in regards to these each being very equal. So you have bikes, who are just as important, and some might say more important than the cars. You have bikes, you have cars, you have the tram, and you have pedestrians. And to see the balance of how each of these groups get around, and all the little lights that are very wisely placed, because again, who wants a space that you just see a bunch of cameras and you see a bunch of lights around? That's not conducive for the eyes. It's not comfortable for the person. So it's actually done in like a very like chill and calm way, but to keep so much compactness, right? So much tightness and so many people. It's very calm. It's rather quiet. It's extremely organized, well thought through. And I think there's a lot of opportunities for even somewhere like Omaha of how do we make it easier for people to move around, to walk around, to get from one place to the next, where you're not just thinking, is there access, right? But what is that journey like? And how is it comfortable for the person on the journey to get there? So when you see something like, example, North Omaha, and you say, okay, do we have spaces for people to ride on bikes easily? Are the sidewalks really accessible where it's easy for you to walk with you and your friends down the sidewalk, right? And if you ever been on 24th, for example, you'll notice a lot of times you can't actually walk side to side with somebody the whole way down. There are like the parts where the trees are that come, so you might have to get off the sidewalk, get on the sidewalk, kind of get in the street for a second, get back on, and like, best practices urban planning example would be to have a sidewalk that's wide enough that you could just walk down easily, and that could also take like wheelchairs and things like this, that's flat, that's just easy on the feet to be able to go down, right? So seeing stuff like this in other countries, to see that it's very not just like an idea of what's possible, but it's already exists. So it's just like, oh, this isn't even like you going 15 steps in a space that doesn't exist into like space land. It's like, no, there's a model that exists over here, and there's another model that exists over here, and there's another model that exists over here. What is it that we think is the best model and best approach for how we want to live our lives, right? So I would just say, for anything, before you start trying to go into the space of, is it possible, just see if somebody already done it. Because like people are so powerful. We've done a lot of things. And I think it's easier if you at least have a baseline of something that's existed already that you can then put your spin on.
Proof of concept.
We've been proof of concept. I love
this. Thank you. Yes, I love it.
This is tying into what Buddy was even talking about earlier about solutions journalism. That's the whole basis of that. Solutions journalism is the kind of journalism where you go somewhere else and see how they did it. And if that is something that might be a solution for the problem that you're presenting in the area that you're in, And it's all tying together. That must be the theme of the week because we got Baby Boy Bowling going to talk about it on Saturday at the Content Creators Camp. So
Oh, I love it. I love a good tie-in. I love a good tie-in. Travel. I say this again. And even bigger than travel, experience. Be willing to get outside of your comfort zone. Be willing to try something new. Be willing to go somewhere new, even if that's 15 minutes away from your house. Be willing to get out here and just see what's accessible, what's available to you. You are meant to enjoy your life, and sometimes that means trying new things, seeing new things, meeting new people.
Yeah.
Speaking of trying new things, seeing new things, and meeting new people, we got to get to what's going on this weekend because that's where you can do that without having to travel across the world.
That's right.
We can travel.
You can travel across the world without even leaving your hometown.
You can travel across the universe.
That's right.
By hitting Afrocon on October 7th. Tell us, you came on here because you were wanting to talk about this, right? How you tied into Afrocon this time around? What's going on?
I'm gonna tell you how I'm tied in Afrocon, but before I do that, come on, shout out that woman, okay? And they wrote, I really like when this woman is on the show. Okay, my energy better be contagious. Look, you see me out here going after what I want. I'm here for it. Absolutely. So thank you, that woman. I appreciate it. And in that, yes, Afrocon is this Saturday. I'm going to be hosting it. It's put on by the House of Afros, Capes, and Curls. This year's theme is Space to Dream. Space to Dream. And this was original cover art. Can you throw that cover art back up here for just a second? This is original cover art. Oh my goodness, right here. I cannot remember his name, but I'm sure if you go on the website, there's a bottom piece that's missing off of the bottom that you just can't see on here. But if you go to the website, Afrocon, Omaha.com, you can find out a bunch of information about Afrocon and also see who the artist was that made this. There are so many talented individuals in Omaha right now. And Afrocon is going to be a time for us to come out, have a good time, for us to be able to play. Adults need to play and kids need to play. Play is an important part of your life, of keeping your energy up and enjoying yourself. And sometimes just leaning into what it can be like to not have things feel so heavy. This is the time for the nerds to come out. If you are a nerd, go ahead and step on out of that closet. If you're not a nerd, go ahead and say, I'm not a nerd, but I'm cute, or I'm not a nerd, but I'm fly. And come on out here and have a good time. There's going to be so many things for you to get into. There's going to be panels. There's going to be workshops. There's going to be a vendor market. There's going to be a silent auction that's happening. There's going to be play readings. There's going to be board games. There's over 200 board games that are going to be there. There's going to be board game creators who are there. So you're going to be able to play things that someone has actually created in the space. There's going to be video games and esports games that are there. I think there's going to be a Mario Smash Brothers contest that's happening over on the side. You are encouraged to come just as yourself, or come dressed in cosplay. So taking on like a character, or even just wearing like little pins or emblems or shirts that you have for your favorite characters or movies, because there's going to be a professional photographer there. There's going to be a photo booth set up for you to be able to live your best life and go to this galaxy and beyond.
Man,
I love it. Brooke in the chat says my homegirl Amy will have an exhibit there. They're highlighting
Polite Gardens. That's right.
Her book, Garden My Hair, which highlights the connection between horticulture and hair. Very interesting book, yeah. And,
absolutely. And in this, Amy's exhibition space is so cool. She just did an exhibition over at the Luminarium. Shout out to the Luminarium. Nice. And in this, I'll get to that in a second, but in this, it is very cool to say, how do we connect to the plants that are around us, to even seeing ourselves, even in nature, right? In really beautiful ways. And what Amy does is she connects it to a space that was a space that she wanted to walk into in a greater way and see herself in a greater way. So she connects it to hip hop and to music, and you get to feel like, okay, I'm really a part of this plant life. We're out here in the planting, the horticulture, and the farming space too. We are fly in that area too. So if you haven't checked out her book yet, please do. Again, this is a local author right here, a local artist right here in town. Again, the book is called Garden My Hair. Polite Gardens, y'all.
Love that. Yeah,
man, that's dope.
You're gonna be a great spokesperson, a great host for this Afrocon show for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, really get down.
I'm excited about it. Speaking of the Luminarium, I was going to say, I think the first 100 people that come, the Luminarium has partnered with Afrocon this year. And you can get a free membership.
Ooh.
So the first 100 people in the door the day of are going to be eligible for a free membership to the Luminarium for an annual membership.
Not just
And
tickets.
that more than covers your single ticket price.
Man, yeah, I'm saying I took the babies to Luminarium when I was there. You know, had to go see it. And I'll be honest, it was it was a little steep. Definitely taking three children. It can be a little pricey. So to get that
Come on now, get you a membership, okay?
Man.
Just for supporting yourself and supporting your community, having fun with your family. We're here all about elevation, not just in theory but in practice.
But he should have called me. I had passes and a membership. Hey, brother, call when you was going.
Man, we could have took Little Man or something, man. Could have made it a thing.
Before we move on, before we get too far into, I want to talk a little bit more. Come back and talk a little bit more about Afrocon when we come back. But it's 8:25 right now. Just let people know if you believe in the concept of time. We're with Andrea Joy Pearson, and you're first of all gotta just say we've already asked you about you. What's going on with you, about your trip and everything else. But you told me offline you got in an accident yesterday. Are you okay?
Did. Yeah, I did.
Are you okay? I mean, you must be.
Did. Yeah, I was just sitting waiting to go. I was going to get my daughter from school. Actually on 30th. I really play in these North Omaha streets. And I was sitting going to get her from school. Shout out Nelson Mandela Elementary. And in the car, there were 3 cars. And the car smashed into the car behind me. And then hit me. And I'm feeling very grateful. I'm feeling very blessed. I'm walking around today. I'm a little bit sore. And shout out Paul, because Paul was gonna let me move to do it a different day. And I was like, no, like let me throw something on. I'm gonna make it happen. So I appreciate you giving me the moment to be very vulnerable to say, listen, you never know what people are going through, right? And like before Paul said something, y'all probably wouldn't know. I'm definitely feeling a little bit sore, but just using this as a reminder that you never know what people are going through and what they had to get through to get to the moment where you're even interacting with them. So whether it's up or whether it's down, be willing to give people a little bit of grace, understanding that this thing called life can be a lot. It can be a lot. So try to be easy on yourself, try to be easy on others, try to stay willing to forgive and willing to give grace and move on, because you deserve to be happy, you deserve to be whole, you deserve to walk in your greatness, right? So in this, I'm feeling very grateful. My shoulder stuff is a little bit sore. It's a little bit sore.
Yeah, that's what I was sitting here.
Like I said, I'm walking around.
I was sitting here for a second feeling kind of bad. I was like hoping and pressure her to come on.
No.
All sore and feeling
I'm a free Black woman.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. I didn't want to. I was feeling a little bit like I hope that you're not pushing through this in pain. So I kind of wanted to check in to see if he was really all right. Like,
yeah, no, I really am all right. Let me tell you why I said low. No. Let me go ahead and come on. Is because I really believe that Afrocon is a treasure that this town has. And for treasures to last and to remain, they have to be taken care of, right? And so that means that people have to come out, people have to experience, people have to bring people with them to make it worth it because I don't know if y'all heard me just talking about all of these things, and I guarantee you I left some stuff off, that it takes a lot of work, effort, energy to put these big shows on and come up with these big, days to say like, we just want the community to have fun. It means the community has to come out and support. And that's where we are right now. Is I'm here to help say, how do we garner some support for what it is? And I want to make sure that I'm also doing due diligence for my community, because I want y'all, thank you, I will try to feel better. I want y'all to enjoy, look, I got a fly that just came in my house. I want y'all to enjoy this space, right? Like, I think a lot of really beautiful things have come together for this to be a magical day. It's not often that you get to just dress up and just be your blackest, boldest self and listen to like panelists come and talk about how they show up in their own ways and what it is that they do in their marketplaces, and how we are so multidimensional as people and as beings. And you just to be your unadulterated self and know it's going to be fully celebrated and supported, for you literally to show up however you want to show up. There's going to be meetups in the space because we care about friendship, right? So there's gonna be meetups for all kind of things, whether it's for different shows, like things that are doing like Star Trek, Star Wars, but also there's gonna be some stuff for Bridgerton. I ain't even gonna front with y'all. Okay. I don't know if y'all follow me on social media. So before all this foolishness and stuff went down with the car, I had done some posts on my social media, had been popping a little bit because you talked about the Netherlands. Okay. I stay on the go. I just got back from the Beyonce concert. Okay. It was like the most amazing. Oh my gosh. As an artist, as a producer, as a programmer, as a creative director, I mean, as literally as everything, I was just sitting there like, this was phenomenal. The whole show was absolutely amazing. I put actually like a short version of the show in my story. So I was like 24 hours only. So hopefully it'll all be good. You know, I put a lot of video up. It's off, y'all. So if you missed it, I'm so sorry, but I'll put up some more clips. But I also got to meet like randomly in the middle of Kansas City. I met Cardi B.
I saw that.
Yeah, I met Cardi B at a burger shop. We both have great taste at 2:30 in the morning. And so, you know, just like a lot of fun stuff. And we deserve to have these really fun moments here in Omaha. And so I mean it when I say bring yourself, bring your family, bring your children, bring your friends, come out and have a good time. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I'm thinking about doing a meetup for the Beyonce group. Okay. I don't know if there's a Beyonce crew out there, but thinking sometime in the middle, I might just have to I need all the Beyonce fans. Okay. I need the Beehive to show up, and we might have a little twerk or something in the middle of the flow. I don't know. You don't know what you're gonna get at Afrocon, but do know it's going to be fun.
There you go.
You know, I'm showing the picture of you and Cardi B.
Oh, no, you're not showing the picture of me and Cardi.
Chilling.
That's what's up. You know, it's funny.
Shut up! I love it, but yeah.
I'm glad you said you was going to do a call out because so many friends, so many Omahans went out to go see Beyonce.
Oh yeah, mass exodus.
Yes.
Mass exodus.
Yes.
One thing I also want to say really quick about Afrocon too. I'm gonna show a few pictures from the Afrocon Facebook page. As you can see, so many beautiful folks here doing the thing, dressing up. These are from past Afrocons. By the way, Brooke, I was gonna see if you and Lil Man want to go again. We had so much fun last year. Taking Lil Man.
Oh, that's Sarah Hummel Jones. We have a silent auction. She has a couple pieces that are going to be in it.
Okay, nice. That's what's up. So we're just.
That's Amber Ruffin over on the side.
Lacey's daughter on the side over there. So people are dressed up.
Lacey will be there.
There'll be a contest. There'll be a contest. I'm sorry, costume contest.
Okay.
Over there as well. So we really encourage you can come as you are, but come dressed up in the costumes. Like, do that. Go ahead and get your cosplay on, get your nerd on out here. But
yes, and this year is one of the, I think may actually be the first year that we're gonna do like a full photo op setup. So like you see how there's a backdrop before, it's gonna be a build out this year. So like yes, come ready, and come as you are, come comfortable.
It's gonna be a beautiful thing. And I will say, this is a special shout out to Black folks to come. Now, this is supposed to be for blurs, like how Jade used to call Black nerds. And this is a event that is surrounding your joy, your being joyful and Black, and being in nerd culture and sci-fi culture and all these things. And having a safe space for blurs to come hang out. A lot of white folks come through too because it's just too good of an event. Everybody wants to come to it. But that makes us have to put a call out all the time. Like let's this is for Black folks. Let's Black folks come through and really support and be the majority of the people in the room because this is what the event is for.
Yes.
For you.
We love that. Yeah.
And be your Blackest self when you come. Be your Blackest self. And what does that mean? You being you. You fully being you, doing what you want to do, being proud of who it is that you are and how it is that you show up. Be your Blackest self when you come. Be your freest self when you come, because this is a space that has been curated literally for you, and not just in a way to box you in, but to give you literally space to dream.
There you go. Love that.
Space to dream.
So once again, come on through. We'll definitely see you down there on Saturday. This Saturday. It starts at 9 a.m.
Yes.
Right. So if you come to the Content Creators Camp, man, you come on through. We'll wrap that up and then head down to Afrocon if that's what you do. Afrocon, October 7th, 2023 at Metropolitan Community College, the Fort Omaha campus. We'll put some more details in Friends of First Sky Omaha to definitely come check this out. Get your tickets. Go to I think it's House of Afro Capes and Curls. Where do they go get the tickets from for
You
this?
can get the tickets off of Afroconomaha.com is the main website. If you also just go to you can go, it's on Eventbrite. So if you just put in Afrocon 2023, it'll pop up. You can put it on Google or you can put it in Eventbrite. Both of them should pop up. Afrocon 2023. It'll take you straight to the Eventbrite page, or you can go through AfroOmaha.com. Again, that's AfroOmaha.com.
Yeah, we just posted the link in the chat.
Please do tell people about it. We want us out here having a really good time. And as you know, like I said, this is put on by the House of Afros, Capes, and Curls. My company is Joy Brings Light. Please let me know if you have hosting or emceeing needs that you need. I also help with creative production and curation of spaces and places and programming. And I'm a strategist. So if you have an idea that you want to bring to life and you're kind of like, I don't even know really where to go or where to start, come holla at me. We can have a conversation about it and go from there. My skill sets are many, but ultimately I'm here to say, how do we go from conceptualization to realization of whatever it is that we want to be inside of, right? So that can be from an event all the way to a more magnificent life.
Logistics, I like it. That's that's in line with season 6, Boots to the Roots. It's time for action. That's what we got going on here at First Sky Omaha. Also, part of the Benson Theater board as well.
Yes, right? I am. We got a board retreat coming.
We got a board retreat coming. We also got the Bonalto Ball coming. This is 100th anniversary of the Benson Theater building. This is our big fundraiser. This is happening on November the 11th. We're gonna have Marcus Lewis and the big band come through. You got to come check it out. I'm thinking everybody's gonna be real elegant for this. It's gonna be cool. I can't wait. Bonalto Ball, November 11th. Again, this is our inaugural fundraiser for Benson Theater. People don't often know this, but Benson Theater is a nonprofit organization, and that's why we are able to help so many people get on stage with their productions, with the things that they do.
Man, take it to the stage.
Take it to the stage. And this building was built in 1923, man, and it's literally 100 years old. 100-year-old building
beautiful.
That got revived.
It really is. It really is.
Beautiful. If you have not gone to the Benson Theater lately, it again is another one of these gyms that we have here in town. It is not your regular theater, even in how it's set up, right? You have spaces where you can sit in seats, looking like kind of theater seats looking. You have tables you can sit at. I mean, it really, there's almost bar stool spaces that you can sit at. There's a bar that's inside of the space. I mean, it is really a snazzy place. All right. Paul and I would not be up here repping it. Okay.
Yeah.
If it was not a snazzy place.
It's not just snazzy. It's not just snazzy. It's black and snazzy.
Yay! Come on, Blazzy.
You in there working.
I'm feeling real Blazzy today.
Hey, and also shout out to Josh Artist for the art, man. It's a spot. It's a spot. Definitely go check it out. Support. And also, every Tuesday they have the mixer in the front room. So tap in.
Front room. We had a good front room thing yesterday too, man, because the Legends Comics just moved into the neighborhood. So we had a happy hour hosting Legends Comics cats that came in. So we host people that come in the neighborhood, all kinds of stuff on those Tuesdays. It's definitely the place to be for that mixer. So yeah, man, I appreciate everybody that is about the Benson Theater. I love it. I love the fact that there's people that are about it out here. You know, we in here, as you can see, Miss Joy, Miss Pearson here is on the board. So that you know, we in there, so we can get us in there. That's what it's all about. So appreciate you coming. Rest up that shoulder. Go get a massage.
Thank you. Come on, go ahead. You know my Cash App, okay? Look,
I'll get you some icy hot.
I'll make sure to have my Cash App ready and available for anyone who wants to subsidize a massage. Okay, I have no problem being blessed. Okay, I love to be blessed. One of my love languages is gift giving. Okay, hold on. Y'all think I'm above it? I am not. Let me pull my Cash App up. What is my Cash App? Before I do that, you can find me at joybringslight.com. You can also follow me on Instagram at Joy Brings Light. Okay, the whole point is to bring light into your life and to mine as we do it. My Cash App is Andrea Joyful. Andrea Joyful. Paul, go ahead. If you want to go ahead and bless my life, if somebody on the line wants to bless my life, I have no qualms about it, and I appreciate it.
I might not be able to bless you with a massage, but I can bless you with some icy hot.
Okay, you better bless me with the icy hot. Okay, I don't hit blessings away. Okay, I take them in. Thank you, thank you.
There you go.
In that, thank you so much for having me
thanks
today.
for
I really do appreciate the platform that the both of you have created here, and how it really does keep people in the know, keeping people connected, and letting us feel like we have a even deeper sense of community and a safe space to have conversation. I love that the chat is always popping off. People are giving what their insights really are in this space. It's a beautiful thing to see, and I am so fortunate that I get the opportunity to come in and play with y'all.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
love to have you. Be back. We'll come back soon.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Have a beautiful and black day.
Hey.
Peace.
Feel a little blazy. Okay. I'm blazy. What's it? Black and snazzy. Okay. That's how I want people feeling today. Black and snazzy. Show up how that looks for you. All right. Appreciate y'all. Andrea Joy here.
Peace. I love it. I love it. Blazzy.
Man,
snazzy. There's gonna be a lot of that going on in Omaha right now because of the Beyonce concert.
Oh yeah.
I'm quite sure. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna take a quick break and come right back. Stay tuned. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd. All of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, stay tuned. We'll be right back, y'all.
Don't touch nothing.
Don't touch nothing. What up? Good morning. Welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the DS.
Paul B, the Dove, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, thanks for joining us. It is Wednesday. Let us know how your hump day is going, your middle of the week is going, and I appreciate everybody that's sticking with us so far into the show. If you miss any parts of that interview with Andrea Joy Pearson, then please check it out on Facebook or YouTube. And when you're at YouTube, hit the like and subscribe and all that stuff. Pop says she is so cool.
Hey.
She is definitely a fan of Joy. Yes, we all are, for sure. Ms. Rickenfeld says, thought I'd share children are eating breakfast, and one just told me that pinkies up means juicy. You're juicy. Excuse me? Juicy means pretty. I'm pretty.
Pink is up. Juicy fruit.
Oh, Lord. Oh, man. Okay, yeah. Let's hold. Yeah. Chapman said, breath of fresh air. Appreciate that. Definitely agree. Love to have her on again to talk about some stuff. And I like the fact everybody around town is talking about, can you have Joy host this? You know what I'm saying? Like, have Andrea host this event, because as you can see, man, life of the party. You know, definitely hosting skills, and definitely hit her up on those hosting skills, man. So it's a skill. It's a definite skill, to bring life to an event. I remember back in the day when I was throwing a lot of shows, I'd always have a comedian come host, because he'd get the crowd laughing, and it's a skill. It's a skill to control that crowd. It's not just MCs that do it, but comedians, hosts. You know what I'm saying? Really try to get you hyped and ready for what's coming. So definitely hit her up on that. Kimmer Snipe says, we will have Shamika Simpson, Angel Stark, and Derek Miller on our panel. Which is this? What panel is this coming up?
She's referring to the One Omaha Speaker Series. She actually invited Andrea To that, she says, can you go to the Benson Theater on Tuesday for our speaker series? So another event going down at the Benson Theater. Some more Benson Theater love. Another opportunity to check out the beautiful facility.
Man, that's what's up. I'm glad the speaker series is going to be there. I don't think it was there last time. You had it somewhere else, so I'm glad they're
Yeah.
over at Benson. And that's going to be real cool. So can't wait for that. And it looks like I can't wait to hear from Shamika and them. I didn't know you was going to have all this. Yeah, there's going to be some great speakers on that
She
panel
says
there.
we'll be discussing current development and how residents can be involved. So okay,
Love it. I love it. Let's go ahead and move on. We got a few lightning round things we can jump into real quick. So what do you got over there for us, buddy?
Yeah, man, kind of following the money as we get out of here. It's kind of funny. This episode has kind of been an amalgamation of, all of our season themes, if you will, kind of the Ballad of the Bullet and Space is the Place with Afrocon coming up. And of course, Boots to the Roots and following the money, still following the money. Again, these are all themes that we've had for past seasons, but still conversations that we're having here on the show. And, again, there are some things to look out for. One is still talking about the school choice situation and following the money behind that. Again, Governor Pillen, according to the Nebraska Examiner, has doubled down on his support for the school choice bill, as we're calling it, with a $100,000 donation to the efforts. Again, Governor Jim Pillen has again showing his support for the Opportunity Scholarships bill, which he signed into law this year. Again, contributing $100,000 to the campaign to fend off an effort to repeal it. Again, there's been some contention and even some controversy and even altercations with again signers and sign blockers on the streets behind this bill. The latest campaign finance statements submitted by Keep Kids First committee indicates that it collected more than $701,000 in contributions over the past 2 months alone, pushing its total receipts to retain LB 753 to $1.45 million. That's how much money has been poured into this campaign, again, to keep this bill alive. And by contrast, the Support Our Schools Committee, which is seeking to force a referendum to repeal the law on the 2024 ballot, has only reported about $420 in cash and in-kind donations from July to September, with a total of about $1.74 million. So a lot of money is being poured into this whole situation, this whole debate, and we're still kind of waiting to see if this will make its way to the ballot in 2024.
Interesting.
Yep. Okay. Yep. In other news, still continuing to follow the money, this time looking for justice, really, for many those who are paying their premium on life insurance. One of Omaha's major corporations, Mutual of Omaha, recently received a judgment from a federal investigation that found that Omaha Life Insurance, which is a subsidiary of Mutual of Omaha, had apparently denied numerous insurance claims based on a technicality after taking premiums for years, a practice one labor official labeled, quote unquote, terrible. According to the judgment, the United of Omaha Life Insurance Company and its parent company, Mutual of Omaha Insurance, as well as a United subsidiary Companion Life Insurance, were all ordered to change their policies. United, according to a press release, is reviewing denied claims that go back all the way to 2018. This coming again from an investigation by the U.S. Department of Labor, who found that United often accepted premiums on employee-sponsored life insurance plans for years without determining if a proof of good health or insurability requirement had been satisfied. So they just take your money and then wait till you actually try to use the insurance to tell you, well, hey, we can't help you. So then when a participant died, United would often deny claims on the grounds that the company never received the participant's evidence of insurability, although they received the money. So again, this is scandalous to say the least. According to U.S. Solicitor of Labor, Seema Nanda, on Friday, she says that a settlement with United of Omaha was similar to one reached with Prudential Insurance Company in 2023, in which it was discovered that about 200 death benefit claims had been denied. So again, a lot of families forced to sell plates and, struggle when a loved one passed because of these types of scandalous activities. And again, Mutual of Omaha, maybe that's how they're paying for that new skyscraper.
Oops.
Ooh,
Scandalous.
scandalous.
The whole insurance company is such a crazy, and
Man,
to think about Omaha being Omaha is when we think about what industries are out here, that's one of the biggest ones.
yeah, insurance.
One of the biggest ones. So yeah, scandalous.
Yeah,
It feels like it's like something you gotta have, and it feels like a ripoff every time you do anything with it. It's tough, but like Rose Review said, term life is better, not whole life. Talking about life insurance,
hmm
which is something that in order for you to build wealth, you need to have some. You need to be
yeah,
looking into that, and there's ways to use it and stuff like that. But man, they sure try to find every way to not help you out.
man.
Every other industry seems like.
Man, just had this conversation yesterday as far as insurance and the ridiculousness of it. But just a quick comment on this before we move to the next story. It's kind of interesting how this is not a criminal offense, though. Like, how is this not theft?
Yeah,
You're taking these people's money and again not giving them what they're paying for.
they're trying to find loopholes in the contract. It's all legalese ridiculousness.
Yep.
This Erica Phil says, I worked for Central States Indemnity Insurance briefly back in the late 90s, and my job was to find how to not pay life claims. I couldn't do it and quit when I got my first paycheck.
Yeah.
Because my mother paid her life insurance for years. In the last 2 months of her life, it wasn't paid, so we got nothing. Be sure while you're healthy to tell someone how to pay the bill when you can't. Yeah, they're looking for any clause, bro. Like
Yeah.
fall on hard times, get sick, can't go to work, miss a payment, and all of a sudden, for the life insurance you've been paying on for years and years and years, null and void.
Ghost.
So I told both my children and friend, in case my sons are too into grief, how to pay my bill and see if I'm paying it. Yeah,
Man, need it.
you can't put that on automatic pay. They'll try to act like you didn't do it.
Man, facts. So, yeah, it's definitely something to look out for, and we'll definitely keep our eyes on that situation as again Mutual prepares to build their skyscraper downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Moving along, and other news. This is a little more positive, I guess, for those who may be dealing with some rental situations, maybe trying to bounce back from the pandemic. Looks like there are assistance and there are opportunities on the way. Just a few days into accepting applications for a new batch of emergency rental aid, the state of Nebraska already has fielded more than 600 requests from 55 counties. It's been insanely busy, says Tanya Gifford, who's of Lift Up Sarpy County, on Monday between visits with clients seeking the federal assistance. Her organization is among those helping the Nebraska Investment Finance Authority, or NIFA, in the distribution of $48 million in pandemic-related rent and utility aid. The funds are to go to the state's 91 smaller, more rural counties. Apparently, Douglas and Lancaster counties were large enough to apply for and receive their own second round allotments of emergency rental assistance, which again was authorized by ARPA and funneled through the U.S. Treasury Department. So funding for the 91 counties have become weighted in controversy, however, and then Governor Pete Ricketts refused to tap ERA $2. Again, we kind of talked about this on the show. Those funds, I believe, were eventually sent to California, and that federal government had set aside again for Nebraska. Ricketts said the pandemic was over and that Nebraska should guard against becoming a welfare state, was his logic behind sending those funds back.
Yeah.
So again, those counties now finally getting the eviction assistance that they need. But again, those in Douglas and Lancaster County are excluded, as again, those large counties got their own funds. What they did with those funds, I don't know, but they got them.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. So that pretty much wraps it up for our lightning round.
Yep.
We do again have more information, but this can kind of go into the haps. Paul, what's it?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and get into that. Before we do that, Von Chapman says, given the most recent mess happening in the Republican Party regarding firing the Speaker of the House, it appears the local Democratic Party could benefit regarding voter registration.
Man,
I'm glad you brought that up. I wanted to bring up that historic the outing of the Speaker of the House. And a lot of people we were saying some stuff about the Republican Party a little earlier, but really it was only a small minority of Republicans that pushed that were the deciding factor of pushing this dude out.
mm-hmm.
All they teamed up with the Democrats to do that, and they're that wing of Republicans that other Republicans aren't getting along with. You're seeing a disintegration of the
Yeah.
party
Mhm.
in a big way. And it was noted this morning on KIOS News that the people that we have that representing us in Nebraska all voted to not oust him, and they
Yeah.
made a big point to say Bacon and all of them voted to not do that. So you can see a split with some Republicans and even and you're kind of defining what Nebraska Republicans are standing on,
Mm.
and it's a little bit of a split. So it's a
Yeah.
little bit of split in the party. So it's interesting to watch this and see. And but it's also interesting that that all the Democrats voted for him to be out too. So even though
Mm.
he was been working with them, and if you remember, we reported on him coming in back in February.
Mhm.
That he's been working with them this whole time and striking deals and doing all this stuff to try to get things moving. And this last straw of not being able to shut the government down was like the last straw for everybody for whatever reason. So I don't understand why
That's
the Democrats voted him out. Like
that's
it's
craziness.
yeah.
Did they want the government to shut down? Is that like
Like I said, the only ones that were really that seemed like they were mad about the government not shutting down is that small group of Republicans that are breaking off from the Republican Party. Everybody else was trying to figure out deals and try to make something happen. They did figure out a deal to make it so it didn't shut down. So,
Mhm.
but that just leads me back to I don't understand what the Democrats' idea was there on that. Not to get too far into that, but I'm just saying interesting times that we are living in right now. This is the only time in history, American government history, that a speaker got outed, and it really is bringing to the split between the Republican Party. There's really something else going on right here that we'll see how this pans out in a
Man.
good way.
Yeah.
We'll see what's happening, and right now it's about time to see what's happening. So let's do that.
Hey.
What's the house? What's happening? What's going down?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's trying to find out what's going on in Haps, what's going on. Coming up this weekend, there's a lot of stuff going down. Of course, there's many things happening. And if you have anything that you think we are missing and that we need to know about too, please let us know what's going on as well.
Drop it in
Shout
the
out
chat.
to Kimra Snipes, who's telling us about this From the Ground Up speaker series that's happening. Mark your calendars because it's going down on, I believe, the 10th. Was it the 10th of October?
Yeah, I think
You
so.
still
Yep.
there, let me know. Yep, and we talked about Shamika being one of our speakers there for that.
Hey,
So
Sister Shamika.
shout out to Sister Shamika. She's always got some good things to talk about and good things to say, of course. Also, what's happening this weekend too is the opening of Dracula over at Benson Theater. Dracula
Oh.
77 is actually going to be pretty entertaining. I've been seeing the practices and everything that's happening. It's pretty funny, super entertaining. It's Dracula that's in the setting of 1977. We're kind of using the whole theater to do this performance. Is really interesting. So if
Dope.
you're getting ready for your whole cosplay situation and you're looking forward to Halloween or whatever it is you do with that. I mean, big Halloween dude, but this is pretty funny. So
When is that? When does that go?
that's coming up this weekend. So Friday will be opening night for this.
Okay.
So definitely check it out. Go to bensontheater.org and get tickets if that's what you want to get down on there. Also, don't forget, before we get out of here, let's go ahead and just put this up before we get too late into it.
Man.
Still
Man.
looking for Brother Blake, Levi Blake. He's been missing since August 17th. There's still a lot coming out about what's going on here. And we're going to have Brother Sherman Wells and Brother Kasim on Friday, I believe. And we'll be sure to ask him about what's going on with this case with Brother Blake.
Man.
But still, please keep your eyes out, man. Keep your eyes out and give people a call if you see him. If you happen to see him, 470-216-5793 or 531-203-3810.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Some real updates with that story. So definitely looking forward to our conversation with Brother Sherman Wells. Big shout out to him for pressing the gas on that one and holding the powers that be, if you will, accountable. So.
Big time. Also this weekend coming up, man, Midwest Chigona Fest is happening.
Hey.
So yeah, get your culture on over at Stinson Park, Exarban Village. There's going to be a lot of good food and food trucks and stuff out there. But car culture is going down, Mexican culture going down. It's going down, man. Chigona Fest is happening. In the same space, they got a whole special flyer for this Michelada Fest.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna have a good time, man. In collaboration with the Midwest Chigona Fest, it's gonna be a lot of people out there, a lot of heads. Go definitely check out and soak up the culture. Exarban, man, is like the international the international city, the international
Hub.
hub, right, for all the good stuff going on with all the cultures that we have here in Nebraska. And this is a good place to have festivals to celebrate all of those cultures. So check it out. Also happening October 7th. And it's worth reiterating. Don't forget, Afrocon is happening. Very,
Man,
very, very special event as far as I'm concerned. This event gets national attention because of how different and how special it is. So definitely check out Afrocon, especially if you're a person that likes to dress up in cosplay. And this is the place for you. You don't got to go far. It's right here in town. Go check it out. Metropolitan Community College Fort Campus. From 9 to 7, it'll be going on all day, and they gotta go ahead and dress up and come through. They got the costume contests happening, and as you heard from Miss Andrea Joy Pearson that was just on, so many
man.
exhibits, so many things, so many partnerships is happening. Definitely come check this out. It's a breath of fresh air for real. Space is the place.
Yes.
There
And
you
that's the
go.
place to be. Check it out.
Go. Also, don't forget that the Heart Ministry Centers is still looking for people. So if you're a turned down for SNAP because of a felony on your record and you'd like to talk about it, you'd like to tell your story, definitely give them a call. You can call Amy Holmes at 402-915-3791. When you hear us talking about Amy H. No Dot, one of the chat chimers, that's Amy Holmes, and she's over there doing great work at Heart Ministry Center.
Man.
And I really appreciate the work that she's doing there. And we want to try to make sure that we can help them put some of these interviews on to film so that we can have some ammo there when you're trying to change the law. This is for advocacy. We're trying to change that law. You shouldn't be turned down for SNAP because you have felony on your record. If you need help, you need help.
Right.
In order to change that law, we got to get some testimonies together. We got to get some things together, and that's what they're doing over here at Heart Ministry Center. So definitely hit up Amy Holmes on that. If
Man.
you're somebody that is experienced that or know somebody that experienced that for sure.
Goes right along with the conversation we had at the top of the show. Again, with recidivism and reentry. Like, you can't get a job, you can't get SNAP, you can't get no help from nobody.
Man, so true, so true.
Yeah.
Also, another one of our chat chimers has put this on your calendar too for November 12th. This is Hoops for Life 3-on-3 Native Basketball Tournament.
Okay.
It's going down as well. You can contact. There's a couple of people that you can contact there. Travis at 402-686-5528 or Marquise 402-906-9320. You can hit them up if you want to be involved, have your kids involved, or if you just want to go check it out. It's free, no entry. You do need to register so they can make sure that they know how many people's coming and all that. So we'll put this in Friends of First Sky Omaha as well. But shout out to Amy H. Amy Hutflis, who's helped put this on. This is the 12th annual Hoops for Life 3-on-3 Native Basketball Tournament. Very interesting stuff to support out here. This is definitely one of them. So appreciate her for being a part of that as well. Yep. And that's about it right now as far as HAPS is concerned. We'll have a more extensive HAPS on Friday, of course. And like I said, I'm going to work really hard to try to get Brother Kasim and Brother Sherman Wells on because we're going to be talking about their event that's coming up as well.
This Saturday.
It's this Saturday.
Man.
And it's the Gang Education Prevention. I still have the old flyer here, but it's coming up this Saturday. Don't pay attention to that date. But Black Addiction Alliance and Untamed, that are basically one organization, really. They're so closely aligned. Gang Education and Prevention, and they're going to have speakers and topics. Brother Kasim's going to speak, Brother Sherman Wells, and also Trent Tuca is going to speak. And this is for you to bring your families to. This is that kind of Boost to the Roots work where they're going to be talking to families and kids and people that are in gangs and talk about gang life and do it through their experiences and their expertise. This is really people that are addressing what's going on in our neighborhoods on a ground level, Boost to the Roots level. So please support this. Definitely check this out. It is coming up this Saturday. Like I said, I still didn't get the right flyer from them, but there's a new date on there, which is this coming up Saturday, October 7th. 7th? Yep. October 7th. Definitely check this out. It's going to be at 5001 North 42nd Street in Omaha. It's going to be free food and free admission. So definitely check that out. And I'll try to get the new flyer over at Friends of First Sky Omaha for that. But we'll have them to come on Friday to talk more about that event and to remind us about that's what's happening this weekend with that. And we'll have more information on that soon. So thank you very much. I appreciate everybody that joined in on that. If you have any HAPs, let us know. Put it in Friends of First Sky Omaha. Yep. Definitely we'll check it out and see what we can do about making some of it. So
Yeah.
Thank you very much, buddy. Any words for the people?
Yeah, of course. Before we get out of here, again, Content Creators Camp going down this Saturday. Chris Baby Boy Bowling coming through.
How did I forget about that already?
Man, Chris Baby Boy Bowling coming through with some solutions journalism training. I think he'll even have somebody from the Solutions Journalism Network trying to tap in. So this will definitely be a class that you want to catch. If you're not already registered, you can actually, is that QR code on the screen? You can scan that to register.
Yeah, you can scan that if you see if you're looking on your phone, it's probably too small to see. But if you're on a screen, that QR code is right there. And if you're not on a screen, you can go to Friends of First Sky Omaha. It's pinned at the top for you to register there.
Yep.
But register, don't register, doesn't matter. Come
through.
Yeah, Elevator Spaces, 1402 Jones Street. Come on the library side door. That's where we're going to be at over there. So definitely check that out. We needed the big screen this time for him to bring in the Solutions Journalism folks that he's going to have piped in. So check it out. Chris Baby Boy Bowling, 10 o'clock, Elevator Spaces. We only got 3 more classes.
Man.
Content Creator Camp. So
went quick. So
that's right.
Yeah,
Shout out to Flatwater Free Press for their help on that. Shout out to Marcy Yates at the Culture House for his help as well. What we're looking at trying to do for the last class is try to have it at Culture House and maybe hang out a little bit afterwards in celebration of the ending of the classes. But this week we'll be at Elevator Spaces. Don't forget, it's Elevator Spaces. Y'all can hit me up if you have any problem trying to find where to go here. But buddy, thank you very much for reminding me to put that up because I sure didn't forget.
Oh yeah, we've been putting it together, man. So yeah, big shout out. Gotta let you know. And then also before we get out of here, there's a time for burning. So big shout out to more of the movement in Omaha for racial equity. They will be hosting a time for building viewing on October 25th. That's from 6 to 8 at Augustine Lutheran Church, 3647 Lafayette Avenue. Again, big shout out to Brother A. Jamal Benden and the whole team over at More. Again, a movement in Omaha for racial equity. We also posted a link in the chat for those who have not seen the film. If you're familiar with The Time for Burning, the classic film that came out in the 60s talking about racial relations in Omaha. Again, there was a sequel called A Time for Building that we just found out about again this morning. So we did post a link in the chat. If you want to go ahead and view that, you can do so online. Or if you want to, view it with the community, have the conversation. Again, it's going down October 25th. So we talked about that more. But in the meantime, in between time, let's get on the body here, man. It's about 7 minutes past the time. Again, don't believe in the concept of time, but as Paul says, we do believe in the concept of agreements. So again, we appreciate you, we love you, we thank you. Big shout out to Sister Andrea Joy Pearson for coming through again, bringing the light, bringing the joy, as always, as she does, man. So we appreciate you, we love you, and until next time, Paul B.
Yo.
Take it away.
Right on. Pop says, awesome show. Can't wait for Friday. Much love and see you then. Thanks, Pops. Mr. Eric Phelps says, great show. The weather is cooler, but water is always life. Drink water, be kind, and be good to yourself. Most absolutely. Bon Chapman says, boost to the roots for Levi Blake. Get out, step out, take a look around, ask some questions, shake some folks down. Do what we gotta do, man. Find this brother for real. And
I don't know, man. Y'all might be hot once we figure out. Once you find out what's going on Friday when we talk to Brother Sherman Wells. There's been some new information found out, and some people been lying.
The police ain't gonna act right. We
man.
Yeah, we'll talk about it Friday for sure, and get fired up on that. Mr. Eric Phil says Culture House feels like family living room. It really does. I really love the Culture House.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Marcy Yates. Marcy Yates is very particular about the vibe of that place, and I really appreciate him being that way because the vibe is nice. The vibe is right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dalamar, who's always down to help too, man. Augie Kids Squad. Always down to help us out over there to get us comfortable. So appreciate that, and we'll be a bit back over there soon for sure. Mr. Eric Phelps says, please hit the thumbs up like button on this episode and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for reminding us to say that. Appreciate you very much. And also shout out to Mayor Sanchez, as always reminds us to do that as well and gives us an update on our YouTube channel. Tell a friend. We got to get YouTube up and rolling a little bit better because they have more tools over there for us to have a better chat experience and for everybody to be able to see what's going on. So we're moving in that direction, and be looking for our new website coming up soon as well.
Man, very soon.
Coming up. In the meantime, between time, we're going to get out of here. Like Buddy said, we don't believe in the concept of time, but we do in agreements. We agreed on shutting this down at 9 o'clock, so we have to make a new agreement with you now to shut it down a little bit after 9. So sorry about that this time around, but we're going to get out of here. We want to thank the Omaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. We want to thank our elders for allowing us to speak before them. And we want to thank you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you. We cannot do this without you. It's all about the chat. It's all about the chiming. It's all about the ghost listeners. We really appreciate everybody that supports us. We also support or also appreciate the financial support. Everybody who is in the memberships that is supporting this channel, the $10 people, the $25 people, the $50 people a month. Thank you very much. If you're so inclined, please join us as well by going to firstskyOmaha.com, hit the donate button, and become a recurring member of this channel so we can continue it on and continue on some of the trainings that we're doing as well in order to build informed citizens and citizen journalists. Really appreciate everybody's help with us getting that together as well. And there's going to be more to come in 2024 for that. In the meantime, between time, we'll see you Friday. Special guests, Brother Kasim and Brother Sherman Wells, to talk about what's going on this weekend. And don't forget me, if you haven't gotten your costumes ready for Afrocon yet, go ahead and start sewing it up tonight and get ready for Afrocon on Saturday. We can't wait to see you over there. In the meantime, between time, take care of yourselves.
Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious, this is protected by the red